an effort to free a convicted killer on death row.
Rodney Reed is scheduled to be executed for the murder of a teenager in 1996, but now lawmakers and even celebrities are rallying behind him amid growing doubts about his guilt. This morning, convicted killer Rodney Reed is set to be executed in 3 weeks, but he maintains his innocence.
I know that I'm innocent. I am innocent, absolutely innocent.
Reed was convicted of killing 19-year-old Stacy Stites. Her murder stunned the small town of Gidlings, Texas back in 1996. Her body was found dumped on the side of a rural road just weeks before her wedding.
He strangled 19-year-old Stacy Stites with...
So Rodney Reed is currently on death row and is slated to be executed in the next 16 days. However, there is a reason why everyone is now talking about this, including high-profile celebrities like Rihanna and Meek Mill and a whole bunch of other people, including Kim Kardashian. They're all campaigning for his release following an affidavit signed by another prison inmate claiming that someone else had admitted to the murder. That someone else happens to be a police officer who was married to the person that they are claiming Rodney Reed raped and murdered. So this story is really interesting. Obviously, I already have an opinion on capital punishment. I think it's bad. We should not do it regardless. But this is part of the reason. Murky cases like this are part of the reason why I think we should just completely let go of our antiquated draconian ideals of capital punishment. So I'm going to give you guys 10 facts you need to know about Rodney Reed, who is scheduled for execution on November 20th from the Innocence Project, which has taken on this project. Okay, so let's get started. So first and foremost, the murder weapon for Rodney had never been tested for DNA evidence. There is the belt that was used to strangle the victim was never tested. There was a request for DNA testing on the evidence, but it's been repeatedly denied by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. The state's 3 forensic experts have admitted on the record to errors in their testimony, which led to Reed's conviction and death sentence. The 3 forensic experts from Reed's original trial have submitted affidavits that the original time of death is inaccurate, which makes the timeline for Reed's killing stilts implausible. There are other forensic pathologists, including famous Michael Baden, who was on the Epstein trial as well, including JFK, MLK, and numerous others. They've all and there are other forensic pathologists that have concluded that Reed's guilt is medically and scientifically impossible. The prosecution's only forensic evidence linking Reed to the crime was semen taken from Stites' body, which was attributed to the consensual relationship between them. So, again, they were having a consensual relationship, according to Reed, who originally, to be fair, said that he did not know her, and then changed his testimony, which was the reason why prosecutors are saying this is an open and shut case, even though it absolutely is not. So the prosecution used the semen to connect him to the murder and refute his consensual romantic relationship, but supporting testimony has since been recanted and completely discredits the state's side. Rodney Reed and Stacy Stites were having a consensual sexual relationship, and at the time of the trial, no one came forward to corroborate their relationship. But today, new witnesses, including Stites' own cousin and co-worker, have corroborated Reed's claim, and that they knew that Reed's and Stites were romantically involved. Remember, the victim's cousin has admitted this. Now, the other interesting part about it is that the potential other murderer, Jimmy Fennell, who was originally the prime suspect in this case, is very suspicious. A recording of one of the police officers, police investigators, indicated that Fennell was suspected in the murder of Stites, motivated by her relationship with another man. This completely goes along with the corroboration from a separate testimony, because Jimmy Fennell himself, the police officer Jimmy Fennell, actually also went to jail, I believe, and had a long history of domestic abuse. Okay? So, and he joined the Aryan Brotherhood for protection when he was in prison, and another person in prison in the Aryan Brotherhood wrote this testimony. This is the key component in why there is a very strong case to exonerate Rodney Reed. Also, Fennell's best friend at the time of the crime, Bart Bastrop Sheriff's Officer Curtis Davis, has now revealed that Fennell gave an inconsistent account to where he was on the night of murder. 2 witnesses have come forward in recent weeks and submitted signed affidavits that add to the mounting evidence against Jimmy Fennell. Fennell also later served the 10-year prison term for a sex crime and kidnapping. Law enforcement records also document a pattern of violence against women perpetrated by Fennell. But most importantly, like I said, the confession by Jimmy Fennell has come to light. Arthur Snow, a former member of the Aryan Brotherhood, as I mentioned before, and a prison mate of Jimmy, disclosed a conversation in which Jimmy confessed to murdering Stacy Stites, stating, "I had to kill my N-word loving fiance." It just looks so much like a heated crime of passion where a jealous fiance murdered his partner, and the police may or may not have acted to cover this up. And obviously, there's a lot of racial biases here as well. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? There's a petition out there right now to free Rodney Reed, and 100,000 people have signed it so far. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Hasan Piker, and this has been The Breakdown.